Hating yourself is a full-time job because you never just hate yourself. You hate how people dress, how people walk, how people talk, how people chew their food, how people don't show up for you in the ways that you demand and expect. You hate people, places, things. But most of all, you expect everybody else in your reality to hate you just as much, if not more, as you hate yourself. And so behave in ways to ensure that outcome. Hating yourself is literally exhausting. So this is what you need to do to go from the shackles, freeing yourself from the shackles of the past and moving into unconditional self-love. This is everything I learned from that journey. The first thing was that it's never about the people, the places, the things in your reality. It's nothing to do with them. So when I was getting triggered by the people in my reality, it was really just showing me what I didn't like about myself. For example, I was always very angry, passive aggressive in the past when I really disliked myself. And if somebody brought food to the table, the waiter brought food to the table and it was wrong, remember, I'm trying to find evidence for everything that goes wrong in my life because I dislike myself anyway. So it doesn't matter what they brought to the table. I needed something to kick off about. They bring this food to the table and they're getting the short end of the stick with me because I'm dissatisfied with the food. The waiter hasn't done anything. The waiter didn't deserve that treatment, right? It's the same with our 3D reality. It's mirroring back to us what's going on internally. So when you start attaching your emotions to the 3D, it's already manifested, it's already done. There's nothing you can do about it except from keep going within. So knowing this alone will free you from so much unnecessary hardship, because the second that you know that you are the operant power and you are the creator, no matter what is going on in your reality, you can begin to take ownership and begin to take responsibility for your life. The second thing is that hatred is anger, and anger is a lack of freedom. You're literally being held captive by your emotions. Let's take that same example of sitting at dinner with people that you love and you're having a lovely time and everybody's happy and joyful, but in this moment you are choosing to rely on your past emotions by getting angry at the waiter. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about myself, my past self, getting angry at the waiter. And you are giving up your freedom in that moment because you're no longer present, you're no longer joyful, you're no longer happy, you're still chained to the past. You're still chained to the emotions of the past. Because remember, everything in our life is really neutral. Them not texting you back is completely neutral. You not getting that job is neutral. Everything that happens to us or for us, depending on how you look at it, is neutral. It's us that assigns the meaning. So the second that you give up this anger and you're getting triggered and you react in an angry way, you're giving up your freedom. It's literally a lack of freedom. You may as well be in a cage. The third thing that I recognized from my journey was self-love is the most selfless thing that you can ever do. And hating yourself is the most selfish thing you can ever do, because when you hate yourself, you're so empty and vapid inside, and you're constantly seeking out proof for how much you dislike yourself, or how unworthy you believe you are, or how unlovable you truly are. You're constantly seeking out proof. So it doesn't matter what anybody does in your reality. It doesn't matter how people are showing up for you or even not showing up for you. You are always going to demand more. You're always going to need more from this person, from that thing, from this experience, from that opportunity. You need more, you demand more, because you're so unfulfilled in your reality. When you love yourself as you are, perfect as you are, whole and complete, you don't need anything from anyone. It would be nice to have things from people, but you got it by yourself. You're good. You're full, you're happy, you're whole and complete. That's why when you show up to a relationship with that self-love, it's the biggest gift that you can give to your partner. It's the biggest gift that you can give to your children, to your family, to your business, to whatever it is that you're focusing on. Loving yourself is the best and most selfless thing you can ever do for anything, any relationship, any experience. Another thing is that you can still dislike yourself and manifest whatever you like. The only issue is it's just never going to be enough. It's never going to fulfill you. It's never going to make you happy. That feeling that you think you're going to get from the Lamborghini or the house or the man or the woman, whatever it is, it's never going to come because you're not fulfilled in yourself. It's like trying to fill, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's like trying to fill the Grand Canyon with a dropper. Just forget it. It's never going to happen. So this is why loving yourself is the best thing that you can do. If you are in a situation where things are not going your way, you can come back to source, come back to yourself. You are the operant power. So I hope you can see how loving yourself is really a necessity of life. Like, it's a non-negotiable. It really has to become a priority for you, because from all of this unworthiness and all of this resentment that you feel for yourself, so many circumstances materialize from that. But when you turn to loving yourself for the first time in your life, the first step is forgiving yourself for the things that you did when you hated yourself. Because I'm sure there's people that you've hurt, there's things that you've said, or there's things that you've tolerated that a person that loved themselves just would never do. And so it's okay and it's safe to forgive yourself for those times, because there's nothing wrong with you. You just didn't know any better. There's nothing wrong with you. This is another thing. It's like, oh, I need to heal. Once I heal, I'm back. You don't need to heal anything. You're just remembering that you're already whole and complete. It's like a full circle. It's like coming full circle. We are born knowing we are whole, happy, and complete, and we are enough. We're born knowing that. And another thing is that babies, if they don't get the love that they need when they're born, they will literally die. And yes, okay, fine. Us as adults, we're not going to die if we don't get our mom's milk, right? But parts of our spirit begin to decay. We're not that happy, joyful, exuberant version of ourselves anymore, because things are serious and things are hard and things are super hard for me. And so I must cling on to this story. You know, it's safe to let it go. It's safe to decide today that everything else has been irrelevant. You can literally just wipe the slate clean. Whatever happened literally yesterday, I don't care, 10 minutes ago, is now irrelevant because you decided. That's also okay. Reinventing yourself over and over and over again is absolutely fine. And the best way to begin reinventing yourself is by loving yourself. And so when you do begin to love yourself, the whole world opens up for you. Even just talking about saying these words, hate, right now in this video, I already feel my energy much lower just from saying the words, because our words are so powerful. I don't like using that kind of language, right? But just by saying it a few times in this video, I already feel a little bit, this is how powerful our words are. And so you can begin to love yourself as if your life depends on it. And I always advocate for mirror work, which is why when we're talking in the mirror, we're saying loving, kind words. I love myself. I approve of myself. I forgive myself. Do you understand how freeing that is? I forgive myself. And you'll also find as well, if you have been manifesting someone back, usually the final piece of the puzzle is forgiveness. Forgiving them, forgiving yourself, releasing that old story, letting it go, letting it dissolve, and being completely new and revitalized so you can go into the connection as two completely different people. This is usually the missing piece of the puzzle. I'm actually going to do a forgiveness meditation because I think it's so important on your self-love journey. Forgiving yourself, forgiving your parents. They didn't know any better. They did not know any better. I mean, my parents love them a lot. But sometimes it's like, really? Really, guys? I love you, but really? So forgiving your parents, forgiving who you were when you were 15, forgiving what you did when you I don't know, were drunk and embarrassed yourself. Again, talking to myself. Guys, I've embarrassed myself to be able to give you all of this wisdom and all of these lessons. So I hope that you appreciate it. But no, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be sharing all of this with you, and so grateful that you guys are loving it as well. But anyway, back to how you can begin to loving yourself as if your life depends on it. You can do a forgiveness meditation and start to forgive yourself. And then really, I want you to write a letter. Write a letter that you're going to get rid of. But in this letter is everything. Whoever you need to write it to, you can write it to yourself, you can write it to your SP, you can write it to a job opportunity. It doesn't matter. You write this letter and you release everything that you've been harboring. You let it go. Let it all out. The letter could be 5 pages long or 10 pages long. It doesn't matter. Let it all go. And then you burn it or allow it to fly away or put it in the bin or discard of it some way. And the second that you get rid of it is the second that it dissolves. That old story, you're basically writing out the old story. I'm sorry I did this. I wish this was different. Get rid of everything that you're harboring. As soon as you burn this letter and get rid of it, that old story goes as well. Take a big deep breath in, hold, and just exhale and just let it go. That old story has to die so you can make room for the new. So I want you to do this as you begin your self-love journey. This is also in the book, Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It, by Naram, by Kamal. And this is an amazing book. I advise all of my clients to do it. It's absolutely incredible. And this talks about mirror work as well. Saying I love myself, hundreds of times per day. I love myself. Going back to source. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I approve of myself. I forgive myself. I value myself. I'm enough as I am. Repeating this and looping this hundreds of times per day so you can truly begin to heal and change the old story of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, I don't like myself. I found myself when I got to Dubai of, making new friends and stuff, and I heard myself be like, they don't like me. They just met me. So I went on a rampage and I was like, I see you. I caught you. And I reminded myself, no, I'm amazing. I'm an amazing friend. People want to be around me. People love being around me. And I started getting more and more invites to go out and do this and do that. Because really what you're telling yourself is what you're going to believe. And then you're going to act out on that. So if I would have persisted with that story of they don't like me, I'm going to behave in ways to ensure the outcome. This is why the words that you speak to yourself are so powerful. And you realize as well that people were probably never out to get you. People probably didn't dislike you. They probably just didn't care. They've got their own stuff to deal with, right? So the second you realize that life doesn't have to be hard, life doesn't have to be against you, not everyone's out to get you, that being happy is a choice. And I promise you, you can be free from whatever has happened in the past. There is freedom on the other side. So I hope this video helped. You are worthy. You are loved. I love you. Thank you.